Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. I'm Jacob DeGate, and it's now my pleasure to be joined by Stan Gravois, who's a director for the Healthy Lifestyle Center at Terrebonne General Health System. Thank you very much for joining us, Stan.
Thanks for having me, Jacob. It's always fun to come and talk sports.
All right, and in sports, it's been a heck of a year for baseball in this area.
It has been. To think that we're just a few days removed from both South Terrebonne and Vanderbilt Catholic winning state championships, Covenant Christian Academy, who's from right here in the Houma area, going to the semifinals. South Lafourche having the best year in baseball they've ever had in the history of the school. Assumption High School, one of the better teams in our area. And then right on the fringes, you have Lutcher, who won a state championship. And they're going to be in our local district in 8-4A next year. Yeah, it's the best baseball we've ever seen in this region.
Well, that's wonderful. And this weekend, we can see some more of that local talent at an all-star game. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this weekend on Saturday, it's going to be the Terrebonne General High School All-Star Baseball game. Of course, we've been doing this for 14 years now, which is sort of surreal. It started in 2009, and again, moving on year 14. Going to be at Southdown Field. Now, a lot of people get confused. They think Southland, but it's not Southland Field. It's Southdown Field, which is the home field of Terrebonne High School, but this year it happened to be the home field of Ellender Memorial and for South Terrebonne because of Hurricane Ida. A beautiful turf field, and we just found that playing on that turf field and not having to worry about the weather so much was a good thing. And it'll feature Team Lafourche, the best seniors from Lafourche Parish, against Team Terrebonne, the best seniors from Terrebonne Parish. There are about 18 kids on each of these teams, and we look for some really good baseball because, again, we've just had good baseball in our area for the last year.
Okay, look, I think we have a flyer for the game. What time is it again? Scheduled?
1 o'clock game time on this Saturday. Again, it'll be over at Southdown Baseball Field, which for you people unfamiliar, Tunnel Boulevard here in Houma. A lot of you pass by. You know, we grew up, at least you and I, Jacob, where it was always sort of a football field, but in the last 3 or 4 years.
That's where I played Pee Wee football.
That's right.
There.
Yeah, if you played Bantam League football here in this area, you played at that park. Now it's a baseball field, beautiful baseball field, lots of seating, obviously. And again, it features the best seniors on the high school level from all of our schools in Lafourche and Terrebonne Parish. You know, some years we're just blessed with having more seniors than we do in other years. This year, it's a good senior crop. Obviously, we've seen our teams do so well. But probably more importantly, it's a good crop of pitchers. And when you're having an all-star game, you want to have pitchers, and we have it this year. It's a 7-inning game, free substitution. Obviously, it's a game where we want to have fun. We'd love for it to be competitive, but fun is the main goal. There is going to be lots of food there. If people want to come out and get jambalaya, you know, we have our guy Percy Mosley with his world-famous jambalaya there. Lots of other treats along the way. Each of the kids that play in the event and those coaches who help, they get a plaque. And it's a really nice plaque, sort of to commemorate their final year and their last go-round on the high school level. They also get to keep their jersey, so that's kind of nice. And sort of interesting, Jacob, because the kids who are playing all wear the jersey they wore in high school. So if you have 3 kids on the team that are number 22, so be it. So, you know, if a kid from Vanderbilt Catholic wore 22, and a kid from South Terrebonne wore 22, and a kid from H.L. Bourgeois wore 22, they all wear 22 in this classic. So that's a lot of fun. And then they each get a backpack. It's a nice laptop backpack for those kids going on to college or whatever the case may be. It's just a little token of appreciation for the time they've put in.
Now, I imagine it might be difficult to field all the positions. Are there going to be people playing out of position, I'm sure?
Absolutely.
Having fun with it?
And they'll love every second of it. You know, a lot of those guys will say, and have been telling their coach for the last 4 years, they've been shortstops. Well, they might get a chance to prove it this week. I can remember a couple of years ago, Justin Williams, who is now in the Philadelphia Phillies organization, was always playing in the outfield in high school, but in this one, he got to play a little shortstop, got to move around. He actually used a wooden bat in this thing and hit 2 balls off the wall during the game. Wow. So we've been very fortunate. You know, you have he who played in it. Again, he's in the Phillies AAA affiliate right now. You have Cam Sanders, who is playing with the Cubs. He's in the AAA affiliate for the Cubs, the Iowa Cubs. So, yeah, we've had some really big hitters in this thing. Very proud of the event. 107 of our past players in this event since 2009 have signed to play on the collegiate level. So, very, very proud of that.
That's wonderful. Now, to get in, is there any admission fee?
There is. It's a $5 admission fee. And for you folks who have gone to high school baseball games lately, you realize that that's minimal because, for the playoffs, it was $12 to get in the games. So a $5 admission fee. Our game is 7 innings. If it ends in a tie, we'll go up to 9 innings. We will go no further than 9 innings. It'll finish in a tie if it's tied after 9 innings. And again, free substitution. So you'll see a lot of guys sort of moving in and out at different positions, but we want them to have fun and we want everybody to get a shot at playing in this thing.
Sure. And it'll be interesting. And you got, a number of pitchers involved, maybe even get some people to pitch that have never pitched before.
That is exactly right, because most of these kids being all-stars at one point in their, say, Little League career, they could probably pitch a little bit. So sometimes when you need to just get an out, we don't want to hurt arms, obviously. Sometimes you'll see a kid up there just going up and trying to get one batter and such, but it's a lot of fun. Again, I hope that people might have the opportunity to come out on Saturday.
Start off with the Terrebonne team. What can you tell me about them?
Well, obviously, with Vanderbilt Catholic going to the state championship game, with South Terrebonne winning the state championship, with CCA going to the semifinals, there are a lot of kids in the area who certainly are strong, and most of them were seniors, because you're usually a senior-laden team, and we have a lot of those kids. I must say this about Vanderbilt Catholic, they graduate that day, so they graduate this Saturday morning. So we're going to have a shortage of those guys. It just happened that way this year. The last couple of years, we have had Vanderbilt players who graduated in the morning and decided to come play with us in the afternoon. The only young man that we certainly like to congratulate from Vanderbilt who is playing all-star baseball is Owen Shakesnyder, who is going to go up to the state baseball game and play in that Louisiana Coaches Association baseball game, which is in the Alexandria area. But nonetheless, we think we have a pretty strong contingent in this thing from Terrebonne Parish. When this all started off back in 2009, we actually had 3 parishes playing. We condensed it to 2 because, quite honestly, baseball in the Morgan City area, especially Morgan City High School, sort of dwindled a little bit. So now we're down to 2. So we try and get these 2 teams full. And I know we have those rosters. So maybe we could kind of pick that roster apart just a little bit. Christian Arsenault pitched in the state championship game for South Terrebonne just the other day. He's a signee to Nicholls State University in football. Brandon Bourgeois is a good pitcher over at H.L. Bourgeois, along with Kenneth Campbell. H.L. Bourgeois had as good a baseball year as they've had in years. They finished as district runner-ups in 7-5A. Christian Dupre is an all-district infielder over from H.L. Bourgeois. Bryce Lajani is going to play his college baseball at John Melvin University, and he came in and closed the state championship game for South Terrebonne this past Saturday. Luke Lered has signed to play at Southwest Community College. He, of course, played at H.L. Bourgeois also. Jaden Marcel is going to help all over the field, a good utility player from Terrebonne High School. Connor Mathern is the most valuable player in District 8-1A for Coach Joe Tutone over at CCA. And Connor's going to be playing at Delgado Community College in the future. Actually, I think Connor's the best player in all of single-A baseball. Colin Mills is your most valuable catcher for District 7-5A. He's on that all-district team. Gordon Porsche is a good utility guy from Ellendale Memorial High School. Noah Prosperi is first-team all-district outfielder in 7-5A baseball. Mason Rodriguez, first-team 7-5A pitcher from H.L. Bourgeois. Ricardo Ruffin is an outfielder from Ellendale Memorial. Israel Ruiz, a good catcher from H.L. Bourgeois. Hayden Scott is an all-district performer in 8-1A baseball over at Covenant Christian. Lane Trosclair is an all-district performer from Ellendale Memorial in District 8-4A. Nathaniel Tuttle is a pitching specialist. So we talked about pitching. We have pitching. And then Jose Valdez, a good infielder from Terrebonne High School. And I would be remiss not to thank the guys who come out and coach in this thing. You have Joe Tutone from Covenant Christian, who is their head coach, and he was the most valuable coach in that particular district. Josh Smith, who brought H.L. Bourgeois to a district runner-up title, Cam Pierce, who has really turned the Terrebonne High program around, Jamie Delahousse from Ellender Memorial, who has that program on the right track. We also have Simon Battle helping us. Simon has been an integral part of this all-star thing every year. Simon is the assistant coach at South Terrebonne, and I know if we had Mike Barber here, the head coach of South Terrebonne, he'll tell you how important Simon is to that program. Mike Barber is going on to coach in the state all-star game in Alexandria, so he couldn't be here. So Simon is sort of stepping up for him, and we appreciate that a whole lot. So we really feel like we have a good team from Terrebonne Parish. Listen, Lafourche does too. I think it's going to be the most competitive game probably that we've had to this point.
I'm sure it'll be competitive. I'm sure there'll be a lot of rivalry from Terrebonne and Lafourche guys. But it'll be interesting. I'm sure these guys have played with each other, throughout their years coming up from travel ball. And
we thought it would be a little awkward early on when we started this, when the teams got together, and then you realize they all played together. These are kids who grew up together. They do wear the same jerseys for this all-star game. They wear their respective high school caps and their respective high school pants, because we want to differentiate them a little bit. Mm-hmm. But they all get a jersey that Terrebonne General provides for all of them, and it's like really something that's neat because you can kind of put it in a shadow box when you're done, so you can have it forever. So again, just a little token of appreciation. And a lot of these guys from Terrebonne Parish, we understand some of these teams are getting together and taking BP and throwing a little bit this week just to get ready for this thing. And we understand there's a lot of camaraderie. A lot of guys who would want to pull each other's, teeth out when they play in 3 weeks ago are now on the same team. So it makes for a lot of fun.
Well, sure. And you're going to have some South Terrebonne guys there, and I'm sure some South Lafourche there as well. So some South Lafourche players may want to try to get some revenge.
Those two teams probably had the strongest seasons in the public schools this year. And obviously with South Lafourche winning the district and then South Terrebonne coming back and nipping the Tarpons in the playoffs, there's a little, I'm sure the Tarpon kids would want to come out and say, hey, we finished it off by beating them that last go around. I'd also like to congratulate Shea Petrie. He's going on to the big state game too to play, and he would have been in our game also. But Shea Petrie, the shortstop for South Terrebonne, going on to play in the Baseball Coaches Association All-Star game in Alexandria.
One of the teams is, the Lafourche Parish athletes. Can you tell us a little bit about the athletes from the Lafourche Parish area?
Yeah, the Lafourche Parish team is dominated by South Lafourche kids. 14 seniors on his team. I wish they all could have made it, but obviously that's not the case when you're talking about an all-star team. But he does have 7, maybe 8 kids who did make the team. And from what I understand, Chandler Guidros has actually taken the bull by the horn. He's practicing down at his field getting ready for this game. Again, this game going to be on Saturday at 1 o'clock here in the Houma area at South Down Field. And not only that, I've not gotten the opportunity to see this yet, so I'm really interested. I understand we actually have some footage of Chandler where Chandler's talking about the practice and practices and such, and how's it going down there in Galliano getting ready to come up for this All-Star game. So I'm really interested in seeing that now.
All right, let's take a look.
With the All-Star game, man, it's just about getting these kids on the field one more time together. It's a celebration of their talents. Of course, once the ball's pitched, we're going to be competing, but this is about these kids being able to have fun, being able to play the game one last time. This is, as long as I've been alive, I've never seen a baseball season like this from our area. So it's a showcase of all the talent of all the kids in our area. You look at our 4A district, you got 2 state champions, and we have a 3rd state champion coming in next year with Letcher. But we won a district title, into the quarterfinals. Assumption was the number 3 seed, also a quarterfinal team. This was a year unlike any other. From our perspective, we really graduate a lot this year, so this is a very senior-heavy group. So it's exciting just to be able to have all of them play together one more time, and against the other great competition in our district. All 3 teams are talented. I looked at the all-district teams that came out today in the paper. Actually, we had Arnold from Central. They made that all-district team. You also had Fabregas from E.D. White. So it's just a great group of kids. We look forward to getting to see those guys in the next coming days. Well, I know last year it was kind of a sloppier game, but we did pull away at the end. Lafourche got that win, and I think it had been a couple of years since Lafourche had actually won. So obviously, as a coach, that was my first All-Star game as a coach. So from that Lafourche side, man, it's about pride and where we come from. It's us against them, And, you know, like we say, it's going to be fun. It's going to be not as competitive as an environment as normal. It's about the kids having fun, but once we step in between those white lines, we all going to give it all we got. Throughout Terrebonne, HL Bourgeois had a good year. CCA had a good year. Terrebonne was a whole lot better than they had been. So it's a lot of great talent, a lot of great coaches around the area. Guys like Connor Mathern that you've been hearing about forever, Luke Learett, Christian Arsenault at South Terrebonne, all those different guys. So they're definitely a talented team. So yeah, definitely Terrebonne Parish is riding high right now, and we just want to send our kids out with a great weekend to celebrate their careers and have fun.
Some nice words there from Coach. Talking a little bit about the teams playing this weekend. Of course, you mentioned some players from Team Lafourche, if you want to go through some of those.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. By the way, Chandler Guidros was your Coach of the Year in District 8-4A, so congratulations to Chandler as his Tarpons win that district championship. But we'll take a look at the roster now for Team Lafourche. Wes Alamo, certainly a Tarpon. He was a first-team all-district player. Brennan Arnold was an all-district player in 7-5A for Central Lafourche. They came on strong at the end of the year this year. Jonah Colley, and a first-team all-district outfielder for South Lafourche High School. Deuce Cherame, it was also an all-district performer on second team in District 8-4A. Wyatt Claymore from Thibodeau High School was an all-district outfielder for the Tigers. Hunter Conley, second team all-district catcher for South Lafourche High School. Aaron DeLone actually has pulled out of the game, so he won't be playing. Darren Ducey will be playing. He's a Tarpon who had a great year, and he is an all-district performer. Craig DePlantis, an all-district catcher, second-team catcher for Central Lafourche. Dylan Fabregas of E.D. White actually signed to play at St. Edward's University, and he's a first-team performer in District 9 3A. Gage Gee out of Thibodeau High School going to be on the team. He's a good outfielder. Zach Hodson could pitch and he could play the infield. He's from Central Lafourche High School. Matt Lee, a very good first baseman from South Lafourche High School. Ben Martin, a very good second baseman from South Lafourche. Josh Pierce just got picked up to go to the state all-star game. So congratulations to Josh. He wanted to play in this game. But we've always said, if you get picked up to play in the state all-star game, you have to go to it. We're not even contemplating asking you to come to ours, so congratulations to him. Dylan Prejean, an outfielder from South Lafourche, going to be in that game, and Hunter Talbot, another good player from Thibodeau High School. We just saw Chandler talking a little bit. He's the guy who's kind of organizing all of this for Team Lafourche. Matt Plitt at Central Lafourche this year, moving on to E.D. White next year, so it's going to be kind of weird for him. He'll have a little of his old team and a little of his new team when he does this. Jay Carlos, assistant at Thibodeau High School, is going to be one of the coaches. And Bucky Angelette, everybody knows Bucky in the area. He's a good baseball guy. Bucky is going to assist with Team Lafourche. He's an assistant over at South Lafourche High School. So, again, a really good roster for Team Lafourche.
Well, it certainly should be some good competition there this weekend. Again, what time is that at?
So we start things at 1 o'clock. Actually, at 1 o'clock, there's going to be a little ceremony where each of the kids is called out and they get their gifts, and their accolades are going to be sort of read off, whether they were all district, if they're going on to play college ball at the next level. And then we get started. Again, a 7-inning game. A lot of people ask, why this day? Why 1 o'clock? This is all mandated by the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. They say you have to play it on this day. It's also mandated that that's the only day we can get the field, right? So unfortunately, and it's not supposed to happen, but if we were to get a rain out, it's canceled.
Oh.
You have no other time to play it. Of course, those players are going to get their awards, but we're praying for no rain that day. And again, if you can make it out there, come support these kids. It's one last time, 1 o'clock on Saturday.
1 o'clock on Saturday, and that Southland field, that is a nice, beautiful turf field. I pass by it almost every day, and it'll be interesting to see some good quality baseball there this weekend.
Good quality baseball, good quality food, just a nice time.
Yeah, some nice jambalaya, and come out there and enjoy some great baseball, some good sports from local kids in the area. All right, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate having you here on Bayou Time Sports.